Hey, it's me, Ryan. Do you want me to pitch you a movie? So we're looking at all this kind of pre-production stuff and all this madness and all this hullabaloo for Gambit. And it's like 250 million, and they've gone through 3 directors, and they keep rewriting the script, and I'm just thinking, what are you doing? It's Gambit. It doesn't need to be this $250 million big CGI explosion smackdown directed by friggin' James Cameron or whatever. It's about a Cajun master thief mutant with exploding playing cards and a bow staff, and he wears a weird purple sock on his head. It's not difficult. So I've thought about this for the last couple of months or so. This actually goes back to like October, really, but I think about it at work. I think about it whenever I'm not really doing like homework, which is very rare because college is busy and scary. Anyway, so this is an idea I had. It's small. It's 60 million. It's Gambit. It's a small thing. It's set in New Orleans. I'm thinking Shane Black for a director, which I kind of like. We can keep Channing Tatum maybe, although I kind of like Ian Somerhalder from Vampire Diaries. I don't really watch Vampire Diaries, but I got the look, and what I've kind of seen of the show, he has that kind of same mysterious southern charm to him, if that makes any sense. And so yeah, it's New Orleans, 60 million, Shane Black directing, which I really like that the more I say that. Ian Somerhalder stars, or Channing Tatum, really up to them. Alright, let's hit it. Also, I thought of most of this before Logan came out, before I even saw a trailer for Logan, before anyone really knew what it was going to be. So, this isn't plagiarism. I technically did it first. So, James Mangold, feel free to give me some of that Logan money. Or just, let me meet Hugh Jackman. Both are equally viable options. So this movie opens dark, like something that's straight out of like an episode of Daredevil, or Luke Cage, or like just Marvel Netflix stuff. I think that same kind of level of gritty. And we open on, it's a woman and a man. They're down on their knees, hands are tied, the woman is weeping. This is clearly their home. It's been broken into. We see family pictures. And there's a man in a pinstripe suit, and he's got a silenced pistol. And he has a mafia look to him. He kind of grins, he's smug, he's joking because he knows they're helpless. And he simply says, shouldn't have gone to the cops. Shouldn't have ratted us out. Bang. Shoots the husband. He's dead. And suddenly we cut. And a little girl has come down the stairs. And the mobster turns and he grins. And he goes, huh, so you got yourself a kid. That's pretty neat. And he goes to shoot her. And the mom manages to hit him, nudges him, or something so the shot misses. Run, she screams. Girl bolts. Guy shoots the girl, misses, turns around, shoots the mom. She falls dead. She's dead. And he's breathing. He's like, shit, shouldn't have let that kid go. And the kid's already out the back door. She's gone. She's in tears. She's running. And in not even big right words, just slammed to the words, Gambit. And so then we open. It's the next day. We're on a busy New Orleans street, and there we go. We got our man, Gambit. He's hustling. He's doing card tricks. He's kind of impressing people. He's built a crowd. And he picks a girl out of the crowd. Pretty girl. And he shows her some magic tricks. And then, as his final trick, he uses his powers and burns his car into the shape of the heart. Magic, mon frère. And he hands it to her. Of course, the joke is, mon frère doesn't mean my love or anything. It's like my brother. And she's impressed, and she gives him her number and her room number. She's like, I'm staying at the hotel down the street. Come see me there. And Gambit grins. He's a sleazeball, but we don't necessarily hate him. Like, he's kind of charming in his own kind of weird, goofy way. He's that friend, everybody's got that kind of sleazy, charming friend. And he's like, okay, maybe I will meet you. So he's like, tricks over, folks, go home. And he's picking up his table, and he's setting his cards back. He's got the trench coat and the fingerless gloves. And right when he goes to follow the girl to go to the address to her hotel room, he feels a tug on his coat. Excuse me, mister. Are you magic? And he turns, and there's the girl. And he's like, no, what? What are you... I'm going to go. I have better things to do. The girl's like, please, no, I have... It's my parents. And he's like, oh, great, cool, parents. What, could you need my help finding them? Because there's other people. She's like, no, because you're magic. Can you bring them back? He's like, whoa, can you slow down? She goes, come with me. And they go back to her house, and there's cops around, and he sees bodies being loaded, and the pin kind of drops for him. He's like, "Oh, you think I'm magic, and you think I can bring them back? That's not really what I do. That's not really my power. I can find people who can help you, if that's all right with you." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And he goes to contact the police. He's like, "I got some friends. I know who to help." He's calling police, and he's talking to him, and he's like, "This kid needs my help, and I don't really know what to do with her, so if you get rid of her." And the cops are like, "Oh, sure. We'll grab her. We've been looking for her. We need to ID the guy anyway. Just, give us your address so we can meet you at the apartment." He's like, "All right." So he's waiting, and the girl's just kind of hanging out in his apartment, and he's a little bit annoyed because she basically cock-blocked him. And he's like, "Oh, do you like food or whatever? What's up with you?" And they kind of get to know each other a little bit. And Gambit's a little charmed with the girl. He understands her plight, and he's a little bit sympathetic, but not so much that he actually is willing to invest himself. And the police arrive. There's a knock at the door. He opens the door. But the girl sees one of the cops and freaks out, and we see the cop, and it's the hitman from the start. And Gambit's like, "So you guys are the police?" And he pushes the girl behind him, like the elevator scene in Drive. And the cops are like, "Yeah, just give us the girl." And he notices none of these guys have badges, and none of these guys seem to really be carrying themselves the way police would. And it's on. They go after him, and he just very nonchalantly takes them down because he's like, "These are murderers. They're after this girl. I can't let them have her. It's not my problem, but they will kill me to get to her, and I don't like that." So you guys have seen, what's it called? Now You See Me. You guys have seen that, right? It's like that. It's this very kind of charming. He's effortlessly taking these cops. He's not even really hitting them. He's just dodging. He's making fools out of him. And he escapes. And they get out into a moving car, and they just barrel down the street. They're gone. The cops are like, "Shit, we kind of needed her." So they got to go back to their boss. I hadn't really thought of the boss's name. It's hard to come up with a mob boss when all the mob bosses are owned by a rival company, You're kind of constrained. I see why both Fox and Marvel kind of struggle without these characters. And the mob boss is like, "You're all idiots. You're all disappointments. I need that girl. That girl is a witness to an actual friggin' murder, and you just screwed the pooch. All right, I'm calling in my best guys." So we see these three best guys, and it's like, one's good with knives, one's good with guns, one's a skilled fighter. They're kind of a quirky mini-boss team of that kind of ilk. And so Gambit's like, "Can't trust the police. Great. Cool. I forgot all the cops in New Orleans are corrupt." No offense, any New Orleans police officers listening. I'm certain you're all great guys. Totally fantastic guys. And Gambit's like, "I know who I can go to. I got friends in the Thieves Guild." So he takes the girl with him, and he goes to this shady warehouse. It's filled with just this colorful, weird characters, and they're like, "Welcome to the Thieves Guild. How can we help you?" "Oh, it's you." Think like a grungy, weird version of the Continental from John Wick. And they're like, "Oh, it's Gambit. It's you. We'll bring you to the leader." And they take him to the leader of the Thieves Guild, and he's like, "Oh, fuck you. What do you want, Gambit?" And he's like, "Look, I got this girl. I don't want this girl, but I'm stuck with this girl. So maybe, just maybe, you could kind of help me out, And the guy's like, "No, why would we help you? You've used up all your favors with us. You've done nothing for us in return. In fact, you still owe us." And at that moment, Gambit looks outside, and he sees a car pull up. And he sees these three hitmen get out. And he's like, "Oh, you've sold me out, haven't you?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, you're pretty much worthless. And there's a bounty on your head. There's a bounty on the girl's head. And there's no honor among thieves. I think we've established that." And the Gambit's like, "I should go." And he bolts. He goes. These assassins, they're not like the cops from the first fight scene. This is actually kind of a tough fight for him. He's got to really think and act and stay one step ahead. And we get a sense of he's not just a mutant fighter. He's a grifter. He's a guy who's lived and scrapped and fought in the streets. He's seen some stuff, and you can kind of tell from the way he handles himself that this is not his first fight with skilled people before. He managed to take these guys down, or at least distract them long enough to escape. And he goes out the back, and he's gone again. And they're like, "How the hell does this guy keep escaping?" At that moment, first guy with the guns goes down. Guy with the knives gets pulled into the shadows screaming. Last guy's like, what? Something drops behind him, picks him up, breaks his neck, drops him. We don't see this shadowy figure. We have no idea who he is. So back at the mob boss's warehouse, no, I was thinking like an abandoned kind of club. Some kind of, maybe a casino. I like the casino feel to it. But yeah, so back at the casino, the mob boss is like, who killed these people? Because Gambit does not run around ripping men's heads off. He doesn't decapitate people. He doesn't break necks. Somebody strong did this. And suddenly, a figure from the shadows goes, I did. Because I would like to hunt Gambit, and your men were doing a poor job of it. And the mob boss goes, what are you talking about? Those are my best guys. The absolute best people. And the figure throws one head onto the table, throws another head onto the table, and throws the last head on the table. And he's like, it took a minimal amount of effort. I have actually killed deer that took more effort than that. And the mob boss goes, deer? Who are you and what do you want? And the figure emerges from the shadows, and it's Sabretooth. That's right. That's Sabretooth. And he goes, I work for an outside source that wants to bring Gambit back, and you are having trouble catching Gambit. So the way I see it, we team up, we get what we want, we go our separate ways, and that's that. Does that sound good to you? And the mob boss is like, you killed those guys, so I don't really think I have much of a say in this, so sure, go get him. And Sabretooth's like, excellent. And he fades back into the shadows, and the mob boss is alone again. And we cut back. We're at a little kind of seedy diner on the edge of town. And Remy's taking this girl here to get some food to eat. Yeah, by the way, we don't really call him Gambit in this. We call him Remy almost exclusively, except for one scene in the second here that you'll see. And it's, maybe add a few more scenes to this, but Gambit's kind of fond of this kid. He's kind of bonded with her. He feels, as a kind of a fellow street rat, he feels a lot of similarities to her. And he's gotten a little bit protective. This is kind of where the Logan stuff came in, and I was like, should I change that? Or, nah, you don't mess with whatever perfection this is going to end up being. Am I right? Right? All right. So Gambit's like, okay, let's think. I can't take you out of town, and I can't go out of town, and the mob's after you, and I can't take you to the police. So what do I've got friends. I can get you these friends. They can take care of you. They know how to deal with kids. They could probably put you in the foster care system, no problem. And he's like, I'll get you these friends in the out of town, and he looks out the window, and Victor Creed is standing there. And it's clicked for Gambit. Creed's on top of him. Creed's found him, and the people Creed work for have found him. And nowhere Gambit knows is safe anymore. He's like, we need to go, leaves, just throws some money on the table. They try to say, he's like, don't worry, just keep the change. He runs off, and Creed corners him, and the mob corners him, and this is kind of the big action scene, I think. Well, there's a bit at the end that's kind of a big action scene. Think of this like the Deadpool highway sequence. This is where basically all of the budget went. And so Remy tries to fight his way out, but he can't. There's too many of them. It's just, he's mobbed, he's trapped. They separated from the girl, and he tries to go after them, and Sabretooth catches him. And we've kind of seen Remy kind of take guys effortlessly, but he's scared of Victor. He tries to run, and Victor just grabs him by the hair, pulls him up, and just beats the ever-loving hell out of him. Like, this isn't a fight. This is just a brutal mauling. Like, Remy can't get a hit in. He's throwing cards at him. He's trying to supercharge whatever he can get his hands on. And Victor just isn't having it. He's just tearing him apart with the claws, hitting him, just savaging him. It is... You ever see one of those videos? Think the Revenant bear attack scene. Except maybe more fun. No, not fun. Think Logan versus X-24. This is a man who isn't really a big fighter going up against a being of pure hate and malice and violence and rage. It is brutal. And then, yeah, so we get kind of sense towards a larger world here because, you know, Marvel movie, and we kind of got to set that world up. And we hear, like, Victor's like, you know, Sinister's mad you ran away. Punch. I have to bring you back to him. Punch. What were you afraid of? The fact that he's going to whip another one of you up in the lab? Punch. There's already 3 of me out there. Heck, I'm not even sure I'm the original Victor. Punch. It's just brutal. And we get the first sense towards Sinister. If I ever do an X-Men Sinister, probably Bryan Cranston. Just, you know, he's not in this, but think about it. And so he's just it's vicious. And Gambit, he's in a pulp, and Remy's just, he can't even get up, and Victor's just standing over him. He's about to finish him, and the mob's taking the girl away. And Creed's just like, I'm gonna take your I don't know if I should take your head off or I should just knock you out. I guess I'll bring you back. And he puts Remy over his shoulder, and he's going back. And at that moment, Remy manages to grab Victor by the shoulder and supercharge his coat. And Victor goes, "Ah, hell." And Remy jumps, and Victor gets caught in the blast. We don't see him. He might be dead. He might be alive. And Remy bolts. He's like, fuck this. Sinister's after me. I don't want the Marauders on my head. I gotta get the hell out of town. Screw the girl. Screw all this. And he gets to one of those leftover Thieves Guild safe houses he knows about. And he's patching up his wounds, and he's sitting, and he's already planning an escape. And he finds, tucked in his pocket, he hadn't even noticed it in the hullabaloo, but the girl had drawn him a picture of the diner and tucked it into his pocket. And it's just a picture of her and him. It's just a stereotypical me and him holding hands in a field smiling. And it just says, me and my magic friend. And Remy's like, oh, I can't leave this kid. I want to, but that's not who I am. And we cut, and we're back to the mob warehouse or casino or whatever. And the mob boss is like, we need to get rid of this girl. She's a witness. Killing kids, it's something we gotta do. Why are you against it? And Victor's like, I got no problem with killing kids. I've killed my fair share. But as long as we got her, Remy's still out there. And he'll come for you. And that's when you want me to finish him off. At this point, we realize Victor has basically completely healed from an explosion that probably should have killed him. And so the mob boss is like, this man's a mutant. That only makes him more terrifying. So I'm just gonna trust him on this one. And suddenly, there's an explosion outside. And the mob boss is like, oh, he's here. I'm gonna go wait in my panic room. My men will kill him, or you will kill him, or someone will kill him, so I do not have to deal with this terrifying card-slinging mutant. Bye. And he runs to the panic room. He's got the girl with him. He's got a gun. And we cut outside. And this is a pissed-off Gambit. This is a man using the full breadth of his abilities. And he's throwing exploding cars. And he's ducking. He's taking everybody out. He's supercharging cars and flipping them onto people. It's brutal. He manages to get his hand on a pipe. So we got the full look of the bow staff and the coat and the cards. Sorry about that. And this is just brutality. He's clearing guys that should be cutting him apart, no problem. And Sabretooth waits, and he waits. He's like, I don't want to waste energy if these guys are just going to kill him. And Remy bursts inside, throws the last guy down, and goes, get the hell out of my way, Creed. And Creed grins, and he goes, make me. You want to be all tough all of a sudden? Even though you were too much of a wimp to help the Marauders? You weren't willing to fight for Sinister's cause? And Gambit's like, your cause was genocide. I ran because I didn't want it. And Victor's like, all right, let's do this. And they fight. And this is a Logan-level brutal fight where Remy's taking full advantage of Victor being able to heal. He's cracking bones out of place with his pipe. He's smashing exploding cards into his chest. Victor's a brute, but Remy's smart, and he can think, and he's managing to stay ahead of him. He's like, I cannot outfight him, I cannot outrun him, but I can probably outthink him. And so he whittles Victor down, breaks bones, he's just crippled by the end of it, and Victor can barely stand. And Remy goes, this one's on you, mon ami. And he flicks a supercharged card on top of Victor, and he just walks away. And Victor's like, this isn't over. What makes you think I'm the first one? You don't think Sinister will send another one and another one? He'll probably send 2 more of me next time. You don't know what he's got whipped up in that lab of his. And Remy's like, I don't know. And frankly, I couldn't give less of a shit. And Victor explodes. Remy ducks behind a table, and he's gone. He's dead, or at least this version of him is dead. We will not be sure until Sinister inevitably shows his face. But that's not the story here. And Remy's injured, and he limps up the stairs. And we go full Daredevil, man without fear here. Mob boss has got the gun to the girl's head. He's like, don't take another step or I'll blow her brains out. And Gambit just points the staff at him and goes, "Let her go. I don't want to kill you." And the mob boss goes, "Stay back." And he's like, "Let her go. I don't want to kill you." And the guy's like, points the gun at him. "Screw it. Just stay back." And Remy's like, "You're not listening to me. Let her go. I do not want to kill you." And the mob boss just he just fires the gun. And Remy, real nonchalantly, deflects it with his staff right into the mob boss's brain. And he drops dead. And Gambit just, he's out of breath. And he takes the girl and he covers her eyes so he doesn't have to see this man with his brains blown out all over the wall. And he just goes, "Cover your eyes, mon cher. Let's get out of here." And he takes her down the stairs, just past through all this carnage, the ruined room where he's taken down Sabretooth, the upstairs where he's killed this guy, the outside where he's definitely killed some people, but don't think about it because it's an action movie. And Remy just goes, just close your eyes, mon cher. We'll be safe soon." So we cut to it's probably a couple days later, and it's Gambit's dropped us off with his friends he knows. They're people with connections, so he can get this girl to safety, and they don't have to worry about the police. They know good people. And she's like, "Remy's left me. He told me we were friends. He was my magic friend, and he has left me." And she's saddened about it, and suddenly she hears a tink, just a light tap on her window, and she goes and she opens the window, and there's a little heart on it. She goes, and she looks down, and she's happy. She's smiling. She sees Remy riding away in the sunset on a motorcycle. And we cut to him, and he's smiling, and he knows he can't be here because he doesn't want the marauders coming after that girl, and he needs to find a new town. He doesn't know where he'll go. Maybe he'll go to New York. Maybe he'll go to California. Just anywhere but here. And he's driving, and he has the picture tucked into his coat pocket. And he smiles. And that's the credits. And no, there's no post-credits sting, because I've done enough setup, and it might have crippled it. Let me know. So yeah, Gambit. See, is that so hard, studios? You don't have to do these huge things. Not everything has to be a big thing. And it's just do something small and fun. We're all kind of sick of big explosions. Like, you can't top Logan this year. I doubt anything will top Logan this year. That's right, Justice League. I'm saying it. You're not going to be better than Logan. You can't. And that's a small thing. There's no big fight. There's no big twist. There's no big setup. It's just a small Western. Mine's is a small, it's kind of fun noir action movie. And yeah, just Gambit, folks. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments or the likes or whatever. Feel free to share it. Let your friends know. Let Fox know so they can't steal it, but I don't want to write a whole screen pitch for it. So just, use it as a synopsis. Credit me. Come on, Fox.